What's up, y'all? I'm here with Process slash sleep at the cave. Yeah.
At the cave.
The cave, baby.
It's cavey in there.
It's cave and
Very cavernous. What
It's
inside?
very kind of sick little vibe. It's all right.
Minecraft movie just came out, so this is big for that.
Chicken jockey.
What's been y'all's like standout live memories?
We just
Played Mac Rock, and that was
tight.
Mac Rock is up there.
I liked the Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands
That was
really
crazy.
good. Yeah.
We just took home a win from our Battle of the Bands in Greenville, the ECU Battle of the Bands.
We were expecting to lose because it was like 5 indie bands. And like they're all great, no shade. But like, you know, we were thinking like,
Our
Greenville,
music's
North
Getting blown out of the
Carolina.
water because it's so different.
Our music's not digestible to the most.
But the kids, they loved it. It was pretty awesome, man.
So they showed up.
Then during Mac Rock, I think my favorite memory was, I don't know, getting absolutely fucking like body slammed off stage by Matt.
That's damn business is a way to put it for sure, I guess.
I mean, no, it's
More of like a solid
like a shove.
There was some force behind it.
I sliced open my hand because I had to rip off guitar strings that fell out of tune.
So, were these some of the most violent instances you've seen live?
All of them I would say involve Izzy.
We gotta get more violent.
Yeah, y'all gotta get more violent.
Hey, look, y'all knocked over my stand and it fucked it up.
Wait, when did I knock over your stand?
Matt,
I knocked over.
Yeah,
I said y'all.
I like keeping my gear intact. I'm not spending another $300 per pedal to get it fixed.
It's a part of the game for me. Like, you know what? It's
for love of
a
the game.
business expense.
Write it off on your taxes.
Taxes, you don't make enough to pay taxes.
You're right.
How y'all feeling about the game?
You just lost it.
The game.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
We all just
thanks
lost
to you,
it.
we lost now.
Damn it. You know, the game is in a sense of the music scene, DIY and shit.
Honestly, I really, especially like within the past few years, there's been a great resurgence in like Screamo DIY, and it's been, I think, the healthiest and best it has been, honestly, ever. Like, I mean, what's it called? Me, Matt, and Jackson, we saw Orchid play to like a packed out house of like over 1,000 people when they were a band like in their heyday, and they're like the
maybe
great
20
goats.
people.
Yeah, like a 20 people like living room, and now.
They're playing like Union Transfer, like sold out shows.
But it's not like a thing to where like it's like unachievable. It's like, you know, like any, you know, screw band or hardcore band now can do that. It's really awesome. You know, it's like the Cambridge explosion.
People got a lot to be angry about, so that's why people like this kind of music now. It gets you angry.
Shut up.
Shout out hatred. But like hatred at like things you should be hateful towards. Like
Coney 2012.
Coney 2012. I saw a Coney 2012 graffiti in the bathroom.
That's
That shit was tight.
I do believe that is Terror Cell over there.
What do you think y'all's music tells, or what would you hope y'all's music tells others about y'all as people?
I hope they don't read too much into it.
That's fair.
I think you should read too much into it. I think that's the beauty of art.
I don't like to come off as like a sort of like mysterious kind of like person. Like I don't like the whole veil of mysticism that a lot of artists have. I'm just a normal guy. I'm not really about the whole like what's the word? Oh, I can't think of it. But I don't want people to view me as anything like that important. I just make music. Anyone can do it.
I guess I mean that question more with like, what pieces of y'all selves do you see in your music?
I think I see my creativity, my energy. I think I see a little bit of my frustration with like the world.
Yeah, I feel like I know like for the record that we just put out, or the EP, the main general kind of theme is loss. Whether it's like just losing a loved one or just losing your innocence or anything like that, just losing things. But more recently, I've just been frustrated at things, whether it's like, you know, life or, you know, the way the country's going or anything like that. To me, frustration is what I've been feeling mostly, and in turn, anger. and I'm trying to funnel it into some new stuff. I think everyone's doing
Free TK, free Palestine.
What kind of change in the world have you noticed from y'all being a band and different journeys you've been on because of that?
It's gotten a lot worse recently.
Oh, yeah.
The world has gotten a lot
Since we
worse.
started being a band.
I do think things have always been pretty bad. It's more so the veil has been lifted.
Yeah, being a band during the global rise of fascism is a little crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of people are just going straight up mask off, and it's not very safe for people like us.
But on the bright side, it comes a positive change, you know, especially like being from a fucking like redneck, you know, very right-wing town like North Carolina, you know, like playing shows and stuff that are a safe space for queer people, people of color, any marginalized group that, you know, it's a scary time for right now. And like just being at a local hardcore show or a DIY show in general, you know, it provides a great space to where people can congregate and hang out. And I feel like it's a third space that's very much needed, especially at a time where it's not really third spaces. Especially for us.
I definitely think that since joining the band, I was completely new to this whole genre and community. And seeing the community, seeing how everybody lives on each other and supporting, keeping each other safe, really stuck out to me. It's been like a real beacon of hope through a lot of what I see going on in this country specifically with the world.
Hell yeah. Would you mind telling me about some of the lyrics from one of your songs?
Want to do one song of yours and one of mine?
I guess, yeah. For the title track off of our new EP, I write a lot about being a mixed Asian American and kind of how in all of those cultures, like both being like partially white and also two different sorts of Asian subcultures, there's a lot of, in a sense, infighting and people just seeing you as not equal to them, or you're either too different or just not different enough. So it's a whole thing, but yeah, I tackle a lot of those feelings from that.
When it comes to currently, like what happens is, you know, like Jackson, let's see if Jackson write the lyrics. Hopefully in the future we'll get. But like for the song like Love Sosa by Chief Keef.
Cool.
Title completely unrelated to the lyrics, but
Which is hard.
it's about overall like spending your time as a teenager just absolutely out of your mind, wasted shit faced, and kind of like not really having a time to mature. Like whenever you've kind of been like when you're an addict at a young age, you don't fully have time to mature. Like where you started using is where you stop maturing. You stop at whatever age is you basically like resume maturing at what age you started. So say you stop using at 20, 23, 25, you haven't matured since you were 15, you know? And it's kind of about the loss of time that brings upon. Very sad things. Very sad subject.
One would say
Yeah.
emotional even.
That's poetic though, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. What song are y'all most excited to play tonight?
I love Sosa.
I guess our song, Love Sosa is always a fun one to play. But we have a split coming up with Abuse Repression soon, and one of the tracks we've been playing off of it is called I'm Off My Adderall, Call My Doctor Please. We'll probably end up playing that one tonight.
Cool. Hell yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else y'all want to let the audience know?
Rest in peace, Betty White.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Gone too soon.
I'm kind of hungry.
Gone but not gotten.
Somebody wants to cash out me some money to get some shawarma, that'd be great.
You want to say your Cash App?
I think it's I think it's.
He has money. $sign the demolition lover.
No, that's hers. That's hers.
Help me get off the couch.
Get this shit out.
No.
I don't want to be in this one.
Yeah,
Thank you all so much.
Send that money to J Chang 18 on Cash App.
Hell yeah, there you go. You heard that, everyone. Thank you so much.
Sleep. We're from Greenville, North Carolina. Thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I know.
This one is not about my cat.
This one's about
Being a drug addict, I guess.
No, it's not. That's not the right song.
Oh,
That's not the right song. Shit.
yeah, way different drug matter. You ready?
Tuning.
Goddamn. Same fucking tune. time soon.
Alright.
Are you ready? 25.
Free KK.
Free ticket.
Free thousand.
Alright, we're a band called Glamour World. Let me just get started. If you can hear me and you're not in this fucking room, let's move it in. Thank you. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on a fucking Wednesday night. We're a band called Glamour World. From here, there, and a little bit over there. Yo, give it up for Process Sleep. I'm gonna sit down.
私
This is Glamour World. How are y'all feeling?
Hot.
Yeah, hot. It's nice and cool outside.
Yeah, it feels great out here, but I mean, pretty good. Did it all right. I think we did it all right.
I think we did
That was insane.
I called it. I said a 6 out of 10 to Gary.
Yeah, but I feel like
I called it a 6 out of 10.
I think the people enjoyed it, so I think that's what matters. Yeah, for real. I think that's what matters. I think I had a good time and everybody else had a good time, and that makes it a 10 out of 10 for me. Holding off to your life, but yeah, great time.
Maybe the real set was the friends you made.
Yeah, it was.
I was gonna say that exactly.
Honestly, it's been such a cool night.
Yeah, it's been so sick.
Really cool bands. Rotting in Dirt and Terrasol are basically our family, so we're always down to play with them anytime. And yeah.
They're good full. And Process Sleep opened the show, and they were really cool. They were a really cool band.
Honestly, it's cool to see that Screamo's coming back.
Dude, for real.
It's been a minute since there's been like a resurgence of like Scrams bands, and so
We need more screams.
we need more Scrams. So
We need more like weird bands. I feel like everybody's doing like the same thing. Like I feel like everybody wants to rehash the same like derivative bullshit we've been doing for the last like 25 years.
I love Jimmy.
Yeah, so many more weird bands.
So what provides the spice of music to y'all? What do you have to communicate?
usually, you mean as far as like writing for ourselves, or just being in music in general?
Every question is however you want to answer it.
Okay, open to
Yeah, it's
interpretation.
subjective.
Okay.
So I think that one, the three of us have been playing in like music for
Over a decade, yeah.
over a decade in our teens, starting out our teens and all that jazz. And so being able to like be a part of the communities that we've been a part of, learning from like other peers and other bands coming up at the same time that we have, and then at the same time making some like truly like lifelong friendships. And I feel like there's so much in the scene that they don't really show as far as just like being up front, but there's just so many different cool things that happen within like our music scene and just music scenes in general that really bring community together and like have a space for people, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
What's y'all's music scene like? Where are y'all from?
So we're technically a local band. So I live here in Chapel Hill.
I live out towards Fayetteville.
Yeah,
area.
lives out in the boonies, and then
I
Gary.
live in Myrtle Beach.
Wow.
Gary is from Myrtle Beach, and so we're all over.
Yeah.
But our base is pretty much here. So,
What are y'all's practices like?
chaotic.
Very chaotic.
Yeah.
We can stay on task, but honestly, when it comes to
it's mostly just a bunch of guys being dudes.
dudes being guys.
I would say we riff a lot on stupid ideas. Like we came up with an invention called the air fryer, the juice fryer.
The juice fryer.
We have juice fryer. We have vape gun.
We have vape gun. We have harnessing the power of egg.
Egg?
Egg.
It's like solar power.
So
but it's egg power.
Glamour World is just an offshoot of this corporation called Glam Corp.
Parent company.
And so Glam Corp is where we create all the innovations and everything. And so we're, the solutions that we bring, we're really excited. Renewable egg energy, juice you can fry in the air fryer.
Fish lasers.
Fish lasers.
Fish lasers.
Buying up all the eggs in the market to harness the egg energy.
There are a lot right now.
Yeah, we didn't realize.
Yeah, we didn't realize that would affect the price.
But we did.
Damn it.
So
And then we're currently part of the music division, delivering mathcore adjacent website.
yeah, pretty much. It's a new department.
It's the worst mathcore I've ever heard, but I love playing.
It honestly, it's pseudo mathcore.
That's really what it
you
is.
can't even call us like actual mathcore. It's like
Absolutely not.
James was literally like,
It's
oh
like
yeah, you guys
mathcore
have little time signatures here and there. And I'm like, yep, that's pretty much it.
What's that?
Do you care to tell me about y'all's backing tracks?
Oh gosh, we kind of work on them collectively, me and Ernest.
but we bounce a lot of like ideas off of each other. We've done everything from turning an automaton into a drone section.
Yep. So the ending of our set tonight.
Yeah.
We have all three of us love this game called Helldivers 2, and we used an audio from one of the enemy factions as the sample at the end of our set, which is like just a bunch of noise, but underneath you can sort of hear.
You hear like a bunch of like robots marching.
Yeah. It's so we just add a bunch of like our nerdy shit into the band as much as possible.
I love that. Awesome. All right. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much our practice is pretty goofy. We're pretty goofy. Honestly, we like to have a good time.
We're a bunch of geeky millennials playing heavy-ish music.
Are you a millennial?
I'm like the oldest member of Gen Z, technically.
Because
me too.
This explains a lot.
How old are you?
27.
Nah, you're Gen Z.
Yeah, the oldest.
You're Gen Z. Because then that would,
Yeah.
technically you are the edge, the cusp of.
Yeah, 96 is the cutoff.
They keep changing.
Here's the thing, they'll do it to you. My entire life, until I was 20 years old, I was told I was a millennial. Like all my life, I was a millennial until I was 20 years old.
Bro, you Gen Z.
You've been lied to.
Bro, you Gen Z are full.
This is rough parts of
Anyways,
See,
basically
this is what it's like.
The band is just full of people who have too many stupid ideas.
But sometimes the stupid ideas turn out to be good.
Yeah.
Every time.
No idea is a bad idea.
Every time.
No idea starts off as a bad idea. I'll say that.
And that's where Glamour is really succeeding is new innovations.
New innovations. Our slogan is where creativity soars. We have a fucking phone number that you can call. It's still sort of not set up fully, but you can call and listen to jingles of ours. And,
Really, if you just have any questions, that's the best place to go.
Y'all want to plug the number?
How far out in advance is this?
Open interpretation.
Okay, we'll say, 888-644-GLAM.
All right.
That is the number. If you have any questions about what the fuck Glam Corp Industries is.
Hello.
That's the number to call.
Is there anything else you'll like y'all's audience to know?
Free Palestine. Another huge aspect of the band is our stance on political issues and trying to create a message for kind of the really fucked up stuff we see in the world and like bringing that to a musical platform. And so a lot of the music lyrically is driven that way. And so, that's pretty much us.
Yeah, Free Palestine, fuck ICE, protect your trans friends, protect all trans people actually, even if they're not your trans.
All of it. Unless that gets us deported, then we're deported. So.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Justin. Not for Rick. What the fuck? Thank you.
Shout out all the bands that have played so far. Process Sleep, Glamour World, you guys are fucking sick. Really excited to play with you guys. Stick around for Rotting in Dirt. We got 2 more, and then they're gonna play.
Donate to the bands on your tab or in cash in the red buckets.
What he said.
Thank you, Dan. Love you, Dan. Hey, give it up for Dan. Dan helped us get the show.
Yeah. I'm sure we can.
everyone. I'm here with Terror Cell at the Cave. Y'all want to tell me a little bit about your musical journey so far?
We're really bad at interviews. Yeah, we've been a band since like 2019. We have a bassist who's not here. He and I are the only like original members. This guy jumped in pretty early on though, and we picked him up a couple years ago. Off the streets. Yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, I think this is like our third or fourth tour,
Something like that.
It's probably got worse. It's fun. We think we've played the Cave like 3 times. We love the Cave. Cave's awesome.
Y'all got any other special venues in your heart?
We're kind of lucky. Richmond's a really sick area, honestly. Like, despite over the past like decade, most good venues have kind of shut down. There's been a lot of like venues and restaurants like picking up the slack. Banditos is a really cool spot. It's basically a Mexican restaurant with like a really sick stage. Cobra Cabana is kind of the same thing. It's
outdoors.
Yeah, it's like a really cool outdoor spot. There's like a party metal band called Valiant Thor from like the 2000s. And
Oh,
the
shit.
singer actually runs that venue. I think he's from somewhere around here actually.
Runs a couple other things in the area too.
Yeah.
They're from Greenville, I believe, from where Process is
Yeah, I
from.
believe so. But he's really cool.
There's like DIY stuff that comes and goes.
There's
like,
a lot of DIY
There's a good spot
stuff.
right now called The Hole.
The Hole is dope. It's just like a couple of Screamo kids who, like, it's art storage most of the time. I think sometimes they do art shows, but it's like, it used to be a building and they just gutted it. So it's literally you're walking down the sidewalk and it's just a hole in a wall. That's cool. It's really sick, yeah. And they just set up and have shows.
And
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, the warehouse is a really good spot. That's like it's really big on the hardcore side of things. But they've been kind of branching out a little more lately. Yeah, Richmond's cool. We're really lucky to have so many spots.
A lot of cool bands too.
Yeah.
Where do y'all pull your sound from?
I remember when I first joined the band, I hadn't heard really any harsh music ever. I think the hardest maybe I would go is like Dillinger or whatever. But as soon as I joined the band, I kind of expressed to Joey how I haven't really listened to any of the harsher shit, and then Joey immediately was like, "You need to fucking listen to Converge right now." So I would. I had heard like a little bit of a record, but I liked more the poppier stuff.
You learn music backwards, essentially. Yeah, I would say early on, like, we were definitely kind of ripping off Converge a little bit. We definitely had more of like a hardcore slant. And then we would play a hardcore show, and there'd be 80 people in the room, and as soon as we finished the first song, there would be 20, and half of that was like the like 40 plus dudes in bands who like, oh yeah, I listened to Coalesce in the 90s. That was kind of like the people who actually cared about us. And then over the years, we just kind of like, you know, get in where you fit in type beat. We played a couple shows with Gift from God, started getting in with them. Ostraco's really big near us. We play with them all the time. And a lot of like younger Screamo kids have just like been doing really cool shit. Skipper's really cool. Hinoki's really cool. I don't want to forget like a million. Claudia Symptoms is sick. Bottom Sonata. Like there's
Donald
like
Shimoda.
First name, last name.
Some of them
like
kind of go
thing.
Hassan Hai Saba, and like they're just there and then they're gone.
Yeah. But it's cool. Richmond's really cool for this kind of music right now. I mean, it's like the Screamo capital of the world or whatever.
Musically now, I guess we're leaning kind of more like Screamo, I guess, kind of punky. I'm not. We're in a weird hybrid stage
It's
right
weird.
now.
We'll be on 4 different show flyers, and every single one has us listed as a different genre.
Wow.
I don't really think we're that like out there. It's yeah.
The mathcore is hilarious.
Yeah.
As a genre tag.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I hear a lot more kind of ethereal quality in your music since the last time I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about where like that comes from and how you feel about it, you know?
Aaron Turner is where that comes from. Yeah, Isis, Sumac, like anything that man does is like what I want to be doing.
Post-rock influences sprinkled on.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say our buddies Massanera definitely, for me, like had a big impact on kind of spacing things out a little bit, leaving more room for everybody else to kind of do their thing.
I definitely feel like the more like we get in with different bands, the more they tend to rub off on us a little bit.
Prisoner is a good one that rubs off on us. God's eyes too. I would
feel like
say.
less so musically, honestly. I think that's an avenue we haven't really gone.
I would say an intensity way. Every time I play, I like remember watching Mike play or just the guys in general. It's tight.
Such a force live.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hell yeah. Whoa.
Sorry if we're completely uncohesive. We're really bad at this.
No, that was me. Y'all are doing awesome. This has been a great interview so far.
I can say words.
I can't. I hit my head a couple years ago, and now I'm a little more fun to be around.
I came out backwards. My head's fucked up.
He started listening to Today is the Day last
I love
week.
Today is the Day. Steve Austin's awesome. Love that guy.
How do y'all channel catharsis in y'all's music? How do you feel that process is like?
I mean, the state of the world, like it's really fucked up. For a really long time, I wanted to write a concept album, but it was just like we would sit down and I'm really bad at writing things. And then this last record we did is kind of unfortunately just a, you know, not a love letter, but a letter of the times, unfortunately. It was like, you know, sitting down and I was just trying to, we've done, that was our third release, and we were trying really hard to lean away from, I was kind of leaning away from, you know, doom and gloom and all of that our previous material is, but it's so inescapable. Everything is terrifying, and it's really hard to, you know, channel anything else right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration in the government and just the world in general. A lot of energy we put in the music that we wish we could put in other places politically and socially.
Yeah, it's really hard being such, you know, we're nobody and having no power, but still trying to show up when we can. We try really hard to we do a fundraiser once a year to raise money for like a local abortion fund, just stuff like that. I think that's super crucial, and I think more bands should, and more bands are doing that, just like DIY fundraising type stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like art is one of the most transformative things in general anyways, you know?
For sure. I mean, it sucks because it's almost like you feel so powerless and hopeless, and there's nothing you can do about it, but at the same time you feel guilty for not doing more about it. But I do think that is one of the few, like, you know, in my life anyway, places where it's just like, you know, I fucking have a bad day at work and doom scroll on my phone for 3 hours, and then it's like, well, at least I get to go hang out with my friends and listen to somebody scream their head off about how everything sucks.
Is there anything else y'all want to let your audience know?
Make sure everybody around you is doing okay. Community is important.
Yeah, we're all we have.
Especially now.
Take care of each other. Free Palestine.
Yeah, it's hard to stay optimistic, but yeah, make sure everybody's okay. Check in on your friends. Worry about community again. And yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.